I just replaced the thermostat in my Dodge Dakota. This one has a 4.7 V8. There's lots of videos on the internet to show you how to do that, so I'm not going into that. But I wanted to share a couple of tips that maybe you won't see in other videos. This is the best tool to use to get to the bolts that hold the thermostat housing on. Allows you to get up above the radiator hose and break the bolt loose and ratchet it out. Sockets and wrenches, there just wasn't enough clearance to make those work comfortably. If you replace the thermostat, the water pump, or removing the heads, or just doing a flush, you'll drain the block and possibly run into this situation. From what I've read, these things are notorious for developing air pockets in the water passages within the engine. If you don't get those air pockets out, the engine will overheat. To get the air pockets out, you're supposed to remove this bleeder valve and run the engine until all the air bubbles up through that bleeder valve. Sometimes the coolant will bubble up through this valve too, and that kind of makes a mess. Before you refill the radiator, take this plug out. Replace the plug with one of these barbed fittings. You can find one that fits your particular application. Screw it in. Attach a hose. Run the hose over, and with a clamp attach it to your overflow bottle. Then refill your radiator and the overflow bottle. Starting with a really cold engine, fill the radiator, start the motor up, and let it idle long enough till it comes up to running temperature. Let it idle long enough that it comes up to running temperature, and then a few minutes longer. This will bleed the air out of the system. Any coolant that shoots up out of that plug as a result of it is now going to go over into your overflow bottle. Your heater core may very well have trapped air in it too, so turn the heater on full blast and rev the engine a little bit, and that'll force the water through the heater core, forcing the air out of the heater core. Once you're confident you got all the air out of the system, your cap first. That way it creates a vacuum that holds the water in. So when you remove your drain tube and replace the plug, water won't flow out of the port. I'm sure these suggestions are applicable to any vehicle that has a bleed port. Most new cars do. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching.